So just a few weeks ago, I was in San Diego. I was visiting my uncle and his family, and then we got to spend a few days with my niece and my nephew, Victoria and Xavier. And I remember my uncle and our family went out to the local park. And I remember as we went to the local park, I was just so having so much joy being able to run around with my niece and nephew, going through the playgrounds. And I remember just the very sheer fact of how they were just going to this like simple little playground, and yet that made their entire day. They were so ecstatic, they were so enamored by the whole play set and just kind of going through the different swings and the slides, and they were just so present at the moment. And I loved how every single time they went through the slide, of course, what was the first reaction after they finished? Let's do it again. And I love that because I think about how this simple thing like a playground is what gave these two kids such joy. And I think about how children have this great way of kind of keeping that sense of wonder about everything. And I think often how we, as we get older, we lose that sense of wonder. And I think because we lose that sense of wonder, we also lose joy. And I think as we kind of come to this week 3 of joy, I think it's important to remember, well, what is joy, right? Joy isn't necessarily a feeling, right? Feelings come and go. Rather, joy is learning to live in reality, in the present moment, in communion with our friends, with our family. But most importantly, joy is living in communion with God, with sheer wonder. I think about in that Christmas story about the shepherds, how they were probably getting so caught up with their jobs of having to tend to the sheep. And all of a sudden they received this great message from the angels that the Prince of Peace had been born in Bethlehem. And what do the shepherds do? They leave everything and they be present to that sense of wonder that the God who made the whole universe has become one of us in the flesh. As we enter into this 3rd week of Advent, I invite you to that same joy, that same wonder. Learn to be present in the present moment. Learn to live in reality. And I invite you to find how God is working those little acts of wonder in your life. And the more we can be present, like Victoria, like Xavier and that playground said, it is then by sharing in that kind of wonder can we again begin to find what true joy is.